happy Vlogmas day 13. Actually, you know what? I think we should make a cup of tea before we get into this. Let's open up our tea advent calendar. I do think it's pretty funny that at the beginning of opening up this tea advent calendar, I said that I wasn't a big tea person, and now 13 days in, apparently I'm a tea girly. Funny how that works, huh? Day 13. Here is our tea of the day. Now we can begin. Although this is too hot for me to drink, so I'm gonna have to give it a minute. After a very fun, festive, big weekend of vlogging, I have found myself feeling a little bit behind with editing and work outside of Vlogmas. So I thought I would do a little get ready with me video today. I have some sponsored content that I need to shoot today, so I need to do my makeup. I know I did a mini get ready with me in the beginning of Vlogmas with some new products that I got, but I also noticed that in the Q&A that I just did for Vlogmas, I think 2 videos ago, a question that was asked a lot was an updated makeup routine, which I'm always so surprised by because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to my makeup, but if you say so, I will show you. And there were also a couple questions to show what is in my makeup bag, which I'm happy to do because this is all of the makeup that I own. I know some people that have crazy big makeup collections, but that's just not me. I only really keep what I use and maybe a couple of extra things, but yeah, everything I own is in this bag. This bag is from Amazon. I've linked it below, and I will show you what is in my makeup bag and what my current makeup routine is. It's always interesting to try to do your makeup when A, you don't know what you're doing. Like, I'm not a beauty YouTuber, and B, when you're trying to do it into the camera / use the viewfinder and not use a mirror. So fingers crossed this goes okay. I would do this in my bathroom, but the lighting is just way better out here in my living room, so we're gonna do it here. To begin my makeup, I'm going to use this primer from Laura Mercier. Also, while I'm doing my makeup, may I just say, I have been so excited to read your comments that you guys are loving Vlogmas. I'm having honestly so much fun with it. It's been a little overwhelming at times just with the editing side of it because I guess I have an inability to just upload a video without putting 100% effort into it. I know I originally was like, they might be shorter, they might not be as aesthetic, but I love creating videos, and I feel like if I'm gonna put a video out, I want it to be as beautiful as I can possibly make it. So I've kind of been struggling with allowing myself to do more towards the bare minimum because that's just not in my DNA to do that. So I'm hoping that today, after I do this and after I film my sponsored content, I will have some time to catch up on editing so that I can get a little bit ahead because I'm feeling slightly behind. Now I'm gonna go in with this tinted moisturizer, which is oil-free from Laura Mercier. This is one of the newer products that I got, and after using it now for at least 10 days, almost 2 weeks, I really, really love it. And I just apply it with my fingers. Oh, I totally forgot to tell you that I already did my brows. I don't really do much with them since I tint them at home, but I will show you the products that I used. I really love that Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer because there's SPF in it. It's hydrating, it's lightweight. It is lighter coverage, but I like that. I want my skin to look like my skin, and I just don't think that I look great with super heavy makeup on. I do have foundation that I sometimes use for when I go to events or if I'm shooting a campaign, but if I'm just shooting something on my phone or for everyday makeup, I use that Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer now. For my brows, I use the Refi brow gel. It's amazing. There's also like this little tool at the end which will help you sculpt it out and get that fluffy brow look. And then I fill in with one or both of these from NYX. One is the brow tint pen, which I usually use the brow tint pen right after I tint my brows because there's still some color that's filled in after I color my brows, and I feel like I don't need as much coverage on my brows. And then when my brow tint is looking a little faded, I will use the Fluff and Fill Brow Pencil. to fill them in a little bit. I just decided that I'm gonna do my makeup with you and then I'll show you the rest of the products that are in my bag. I feel like that makes the most sense. Next, I go in with concealer. I like this creamy Kosas concealer for my everyday makeup look. And I'm gonna use a damp beauty blender. By the way, how great is this case? Silicone case. I got it on Amazon. I will link this as well as everything below. I already got my beauty blender damp, so it's ready to go. And for concealer, I just cover up my little spots. I like to do a little around my nose and on my nose. Then I do a little under my eyes. And I like to do a little bit up here and like on the bridge of my nose as well. Before I blend, I like to give it like 10 to 15 seconds just to let it get a little bit more tacky. Otherwise, it can kind of slide around on the face, I've noticed. Then I just blend. And this concealer is pretty similar to the color of my entire face, maybe slightly lighter, but I do that because I'm going for a kind of like no makeup look. If I'm doing foundation or I'm trying to look more quote unquote glam, which I don't typically try to look that way, but you know what I mean. I do have another concealer I like, but for this look, I like a concealer that's essentially the same color as my skin because we're going for a very natural look. Then I like to lightly set my under eyes with this Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I do it with my beauty blender, and I just do it really lightly because I've noticed that keeping my makeup on the creamier, more like moisturized side actually gives me a more youthful look and a more natural look versus super matte, powdered, and dried out. I just basically use this to kind of set that in place. The next order of business is contour, and I like this contour wand. It's like a creamy contour from Charlotte Tilbury, and I just do 2 dots here, 2 dots there, a couple on my forehead. Blend, blend, blend. Again, I'm going for a natural makeup look, and I do like to look a little sun-kissed. And then I like to go in with just a blank brush, there's like nothing on it, and just blend it in further just to make sure it's all looking cohesive here. Then I also like to use these 2 products from Rare Beauty. This is a highlight, and then this is also another highlight, but it's more of a bronzy color, and this is just to add a little extra glow to my face. The next thing I do is I go in with this powder bronzer from Hourglass. This is the Luminous Bronze Light bronzer powder, and I like to just do a little bit of this over where I did the cream bronzer, a little on my forehead, a little under my jaw, just to make sure everything is blended. This bronzer has like multiple colors in it, so for this part I like to go into the darker color, and for the next part I like to go into the lighter color, and that might sound confusing, but it'll all make sense in a moment. So for this, I'm going into that darker color, and I just slightly contour my nose. So I do a little line here, all the way around and down and underneath, and then I just do a line on either side. Wow, that is not straight. Whoops. It's okay. I didn't put too much powder on, and that's the point, is that I don't want it to be too noticeable and crazy, but we'll blend it in. Just realized I haven't had any of my tea yet. Oh my gosh, this is truly so freaking good. Yum. Highly recommend. We're gonna go back to that bronzer palette in a moment, but first we're gonna move to this palette. This is the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. I'm gonna use this light color Tempura first all over my lids just to brighten everything up. As you can see, that color is the most used color in this palette. Honestly, I keep buying the palette again and again just for that color. It's so good. So I do tempura all over my lids. And because it is a light neutral color, I just drag it all the way into the center too, because it all just kind of blends in, I think. And then I'm going back to my bronzer, and I'm going into that lighter color I showed you before with a little eyeshadow brush. And I start at the edge of my eye and kind of go into the crease and just blend it. I feel like using your bronzer as eyeshadow is just a really great way to keep it looking really natural. Then I'm moving on to this Juicy Tartlet palette from Tarte. I love this palette so much. There's so many pretty colors in this. I use the color Reflect, which is essentially just like that lighter color in the other palette. This one is just a little bit more shimmery. And I go back into the crease and up right below my brow with this fluffy brush again. The other color that I use pretty frequently in this palette is this lighter shimmery pink. If I wasn't wearing red, I might do that in the crease instead of the bronzer. As you can see, I also use these darker shades of brown, and I use these for eyeliner. Oh my gosh, look at me, I'm like a beauty YouTuber. I just use a small angled brush, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I lick it. Is that the most sanitary thing? I don't know, but it's my spit in my eye, so what do I care? And I'm gonna go into one of those two brown colors. I went into the lighter one today. And I just do a really light, subtle winged liner. Literally just start at the end and flick it up and then drag it. Oh, look who decided to join us. Thanks for joining. Special guest appearance by Bali. You wanna smell my makeup on my face? Yeah. I'm gonna do the other eye and then I will come back. I have to be honest, I feel like my eyeliner is never even, and I don't know if it's even right now, but nothing is perfect, babe. So, you know, you just do your best and gotta keep it moving. The next order of business for the eyes is this Fake Awake eye highlight liner. And I take this in the waterline of my lower eyelid. Then I know in my previous makeup routine, I said I didn't use an eyelash curler, but you know, people change. I'm using this eyelash curler from Tarte. Give it a little volume. And then I use the same mascara that I've been using for ages, Ilia Limitless Mascara. I just love the brush on this mascara. The next thing we need to do is a little bit of blush. And I love this Rare Beauty cream blush. The color is Nearly Mauve. Do a little on the apples of my cheeks and up, and a little on the tip of my nose. Why? I don't know. Just what we do these days, you know? And then I go back in with my beauty blender that I've already used, and I blend it in. And I always blend up with my blush. I think it lifts the face. Another thing that lifts my face personally is not putting mascara on the bottom lashes. I don't know if I said that before. I only put mascara on the top. Now for lips, I've had the same lip combo for the last 5 or 6 months. I line with the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. It is essentially the color of my lips. It just gives me a little bit more definition. And then I go in with this NARS Tinted Lip Balm, which again is essentially the color of my lips. It just is slightly enhanced. And this color is Dolce Vita. And then I always top my lips off with my Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. It's just like a clear, moisturizing lip balm that kind of looks glossy. There's only one last step, which is my Laura Mercier setting spray. Voila! That is my everyday makeup routine. Let me show you what else is in my makeup bag. This is the remainder of my makeup bag. This is just a new contour wand, which is the same one I used to contour earlier because I'm almost out of the current one. Same thing with this. This is another refill product. Same mascara I use, just a fresh one because I'm almost out of my current one. These are NARS Tinted Lip Balms, same color. One is just one to take in my purse. This one is in the color Orgasm, lighter, more summery color. A lighter shade of the Kosas Creamy Concealer, same concealer I used today. Speaking of concealer, this is the other concealer I was talking about that is more of a full coverage concealer, and I really only use this one when I'm using this foundation, which this is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. I do like this one, I just don't love it for every day because it's a little too heavy for my liking. Another Ilia mascara, which I honestly am not crazy about because I just don't love the brush. I love the brush on the Limitless mascara. I just think it's easier to control. This is the old brow gel that I used to use. Now I use the Refi, but I still have this. This is more like glue, honestly. Laneige lip balm that I still do like. I just prefer the Summer Fridays one now. Little pencil sharpener. The old tinted moisturizer I used to use. I still have like a very small amount of this left, but it's honestly, this could probably honestly be thrown out. It's pretty old and there's barely anything left in it. I also had this primer from Tarte, the Poreless Primer. I didn't love it. I feel like it balled up a little bit upon application, which is why I stopped using it and got the Laura Mercier one that I used today. So honestly, this could probably be tossed out too. This is something else that I really love to use, although I didn't have to use it today because my skin is so clear, but this is a color corrector that I like to use. I only recently started using this when my skin started to break out again. It's not only a color correcting green cream for redness, but it also helps heal breakouts. This is by Hero Cosmetics. e.l.f. Grip Primer, and I really only use this if I have breakouts that I'm trying to cover up because it's super sticky and it helps the tinted moisturizer stick to the breakout. Last couple of things we have here. Another Rare Beauty liquid blush. I really love this. It's just a lighter color than the other one, and I feel like this is better for summer. Benetint, which I do like to use on my lips sometimes if I'm not in the mood to use that tinted lip balm. I'll use this. Just a pretty natural lip stain. And then two pencils from Hourglass. This is the shade Solstice, and this is Chestnut. This one's like a brown, and this one is like a purpley tone. So I'm doing a super glam look, you know, like the look I would do if I was wearing the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. I might use these to line my lids, but I like to smudge them out with like a smudging brush. But again, that's not something that I do on a daily basis. That is literally all the makeup I own, and you saw all the makeup I use on a daily basis. Don't have any other hidden makeup. I'm really happy with my everyday makeup routine right now. I feel like it's pretty natural and light, which I intentionally do because I feel like if I wear too heavy of makeup all the time, then it's really jarring to see myself without makeup. And I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, but I already sometimes feel like I don't look as good without makeup, so I don't need anything else to cloud my judgment and make myself see myself in a wonky way, if that makes sense. Before I let you go, let's open our Rituals Day 13. Ooh, another shower gel. It's like a shower foam. Cedarwood and Vitamin E Complex. That sounds amazing. All right, my loves, that is it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me and helping me do my makeup. Again, I've linked everything down below. Tomorrow we will pick back up with the vlogs. You know, we'll put the vlog in Vlogmas. Thank you for bearing with me as I make my way through this wild and insane challenge I have put myself through, aka Vlogmas. I am truly having so much fun. I feel like giving myself these little breaks like the Q&A and like this will help me get ahead a little bit. So I hope that you like these videos just as much as the vlogs. Either way, I love you. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.